Hey Flosstube, it's Laura B with Laura B Flosstube. I'm back again, yay, yay, yay. It is February 14th, 2023. Happy Valentine's Day. If nothing else, I hope you have the love of stitching with you today. And so this episode of the Flosstube, I'm going to talk about some things that I finished since last time, some things I have in progress, some plans for the rest of February and a little bit of March. And we have a giveaway winner to announce. So let's just get started. The first thing I'm going to do is show you my first finish. So let me flip this around. Okay, so my first finish for February, whew, that's a lot of F's, was a Pinker and Punkin quilting design. So this is Elizabeth Hartline's salt box, and it's on a 28 count Lugana. It's hand dyed with, let's see, what did I say? Some kind of a rose. Yeah, rose and gray, I think, actually, kind of like a silver gray. So I did post all of the Anchor floss colors that I used a few floss tubes ago, I think 2 floss tubes ago, and then you could also see that on my Instagram feed. So make sure you check that out. So that's my first finish. Yay! Okay, so the other start and finish since last time is the Peppermint House, which is the first of 9 in the series for the Houses of Peppermint Lane. That's by Pansy Patch Quilting and Stitchery. And so let me show you that real quick. I will be starting, which I'll discuss in a little bit, so we'll just go ahead and throw it in there now. I will be starting the second house in this series, which is the Gingerbread House, on the 21st of February. But for now, here is my Peppermint House. And this is on an 18 count. Oh, it's got a little wrinkle there. Hang on. There we go. It's a big piece of cloth. Woof. Okay, this is on an 18 count Aida. It's also hand dyed. I used the same rose color, Rit dye, and tea stain. So I just made a little picture of tea and, pretty strong, obviously, and soaked my cloth in that. And then I spooned over some of the, I think it's rose quartz, Rit liquid dye. And it was diluted, probably a teaspoon of dye for half a cup of water, hot water. Just follow the instructions, play around with it, it'll be fun. And this is using the called for DMC floss colors. So I'm looking forward to starting the Gingerbread House next week. Yay! But for now, my little Peppermint House is done. And I am doing these as one stitch. So it's going to be pretty big. It's like 19.5 by 16 or 21. It's big. So that will be super, super fun. And just so you know which the next one looks like, this is the Gingerbread House. So looking forward to starting that next week. It'll be super fun. All right, so there is my Houses on Peppermint Lane stitch. All right, so those are the only 2 finishes since the last floss tube. And you'll probably remember that I was sick. Well, yeah, I was sick. We had COVID. Oh my goodness. So fully recovered from that now. But explains why I was feeling so crappy. So glad that's over with. But I did still get some stitching done. Flags on the 4th. I started on the 4th, I believe, and stitched for 3 days on my flags. And that's kind of my new thing. So we're doing the 4th, 14th, and 24th. I'm just like starting on the 4th or some day in the month and just stitching for 3 nights on this stitch. And I am making some pretty good progress, you guys. I'm so excited. So I have the lower, what is this, lower left? Yeah, I get my lefts and rights confused when I'm backwards. I have the lower left, all the blues done and all the white done. So I did all of the white stripes and then I almost finished this flag here. So in March, on those 3 days, I hope to get the rest of this, all the red, done over there. And that would leave April, May, and June to get the other 6 flags done, which I feel is totally doable because you're basically looking at 2 flags a month. And I think that even if I don't get those done in the 3 days that I allocate, that I'm just going to keep stitching until I get, about that much done. I do think I'm going to split them the way I did this though, and do all the blue squares and then start on the white stripes and then do the red stripes. So I can kind of look at that and say, okay, well, I got all the white stripes done, which is basically half. So that's basically 3. And I got the red done. So I feel like, if I can get all the blue squares done, in March, then in April, I can do all the white. No, wait, yeah. April, I can do all the white or most of the white. And then May, I can do the red. And I feel like I feel I can do that. I can, I actually, the rest of the red in March, then all the blue in April, all the white in May, all the red in June. I think that's that's the goal. I think that's how I'm going to split it up. So like I said, kind of changing that up a little bit just because, there's not that many floss colors to switch between, but it does seem to go really quickly. Once you get those blue squares done, it seems like the red and white stripes go really fast, which makes sense because it's just straight lines. And I have enough of the other flags done that I have like a frame of reference of where to start and stop each of those. So except for the blue squares, I don't really even need the pattern. So that is I didn't even tell you what that was. I'm so sorry. This is the American Quilters Cross Stitch by Katie Nolan. Her Etsy shop is Count Your Stitches, and this is still available in her Etsy shop. So if you want to check her out, this is the pattern you need. Alrighty, my other work in progress is Autumn Love. Yay! This is a design by Lori Holt. Super, super excited about this one. I have the quilt, as I mentioned a few floss tubes ago. I have the quilt done. You can see I'm like so prepared tonight. I'm just like, nothing's out of the hoop. Nothing is unclipped. We're just going for it. So I think, and I know I showed this last time, I have the house done and I have some of the framing done. And I had down to here. So I had like the top and this side done. So last night I did this square and started this rectangle. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then I'm hoping, I have schoolwork to do tonight. If I get some stitching time in tonight though, I plan to do the rest of that rectangle and then hopefully one of the bottom squares. And then there's a big rectangle on the bottom and one more square to do down there. Let me see if I can find the picture of it so you can see what I'm thinking. My fingers can't separate the papers. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to try to finish, the rectangle and the square. And then, actually, I guess the rectangle and 2 squares. Yeah, that's not going to happen tonight. I have too much homework to do. But that's the next time I can have 3 hours to stitch. I can get the 2 frames and the rest of that rectangle done. And then I'll have the rectangle and this last square over here to do. And then I will start doing these stars around the center of the house. Probably. Yeah, I will. I'll start doing those and then I'll start filling in the little frames around the outside. So this is something that, I plan on working on it for several months still. And I'm hoping to allocate a week a month to this stitch. That's where I'm at with it. It's really hard to put down though. Once I get started on it, I'm like, oh, I want to keep going and keep going and keep going. But I have to, be mindful and there's many things that I want to do. And I don't want to have so much of my month planned that if I get COVID or if I get sick or if I'm just not feeling stitching, that I feel like I'm running behind. I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure that I am having fun with it. All right, so I told you that February, the gingerbread house, I'm going to start it next week. On the 25th of February, I plan on starting the 2017 Prairie Schooler Santa. That'll be my first Santa for this year. So that'll be fun. And then March 1st, And let me see. Okay, so I didn't have it, but I do now. For March, I'm doing Dorothy May's Spring House. I haven't picked any of these colors yet, and my copier, my printer sucks. But this is a free chart from Pinker and Punkin. This is my Pinker and Punkin stitch along for March. So this is Dorothy May's Spring House. I might change the color of her house. March is my birthday month. And so I think I may change the color of her house to like my favorite color or something. So we'll see how that goes. So that is my first plan for March. And then I told you last time I'm going to start the featherweight cross stitch on my birthday, which is March 6th. So those are kind of like early March plans, the rest of February and early March plans for my cross stitch. And that's pretty much it for cross stitch. So next up, okay, so it rained here all day, like poured down raining. I planned on getting pictures of the quilts that I quilted, oh my, 2.5 weeks ago. I just finally got all the binding on them this past weekend, and I was going to get pictures of all of them and insert pictures, and so you say, oh, and this is this quilt, and this is quilt, and this quilt, but it didn't happen because it was raining all day. I couldn't. I like to hang them off the railing on my back deck, and it, like I said, it was pouring down rain, and I didn't get that done. So next time, stay tuned. I will have photos of the quilts. There are 6 quilts that I finished. And I love them all so much. So stay tuned for that. I do have some progress on the 2 quilt alongs that I'm working on. So let me switch this around again so you can see those. Okay, first up is the Sewcialites 2 quilt along with fat quarter shot. There have been, what is that, 15 blocks released. Block 16 will be released Thursday. So I am current on that one. I'm really loving how this is working out. And I have a plan for this quilt. I am going to do my own setting on this. I'm doing the 6-inch blocks. I think it's block 16 actually. That is a really cool looking star. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 12-inch, is that right? Yep. The 12-inch block and double it basically to make a 24-inch block with this star that's coming up. And that's going to be like my center. So it's going to be like a center medallion for the quilt. And then I'm going to use these 6-inch blocks with a little sashing around the outside edges of that center star. So I need to still do the math on it to figure out how big it's going to make it, because I definitely want to do some sashing between the blocks. And I also want to do some borders. So I just need to figure out and do the math and figure out that medallion center and the sashing, or the border, I guess, that will go around that, so I can get my 6-inch blocks to be spaced evenly around the sides, and then an outer border. And so I'm super, super excited about finally having a plan on how I'm going to set this quilt together. Okay, the other quilt that I'm working on right now is Lori Holt's Calico Garden. She has a blog post every Monday morning, and so you can go and get the instructions off her blog. You don't have to use her fabrics. You can use fabrics from your stash. You will need the Sew Simple shapes, just because that's kind of, her deal. She gives the pattern for free, but then you have to get the Sew Simple shapes, so you have the templates for the different shapes for the quilt. So at the top is week 1, which were the primrose blocks. I think that's right. And then the Morning Glory blocks are the top 2 on the right. And then I have some of the Starflower blocks done. There are 23 of them. You'll notice that some of them have centers and some of them don't. I actually have 5 more blocks that are up, that are not up there, that also need those centers. And then the bottom 2 right blocks are the blocks from this week, and they are those might be the primrose. Yes, the first 2 are cone flowers. I'm so sorry. The top left, blue and purple flower, are cone flowers. The bottom right, pink and purple, are the primrose blocks. So that's 3 weeks of Calico Garden. The next blocks will be released on Monday, but I won't be here. And we'll talk about that in just a second. So that's my quilt update. All right, so quick announcement, I guess, is that I am so excited. This is Quilt Retreat Week. Yay! I am just so looking forward to this. I'm going down a day early, so I'm actually leaving like Friday morning, and then I'll be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and most of the day Monday. And it's just going to be sewing. I'm taking my featherweight, which I'm super excited about. I need to get it oiled and cleaned and packed up and all that good stuff yet, but super excited about that. And I spent a little time yesterday and today just kind of getting my ducks in a row with what I'm going to take and what I'm going to do. I have a secret sister at retreat, so I got all of her little gifties together, and I made myself a t-shirt. Today, I finally, oh my gosh. So I have a Cricut Maker 3 and I love it so much. It was not the Cricut, but it was not a good day to be crafty Laura because I swear this took me 4 tries to get this right. But here's my shirt. It's a V-neck. It's teal to match my sewing machine. It's adorable. It's a little Singer featherweight. The 47 is because I have a 1947 featherweight. So there's my t-shirt. I'm going to wear it on Saturday. Yay! And so that's super fun. All right, so a couple more fun little goodies for retreat. My husband loves me so much. Today's Valentine's Day. We actually traded our gifts last night, though. He got me a cookie cutter from the featherweight shop. They have a featherweight cookie cutter. Isn't this the cutest thing ever? So he's like, I thought you could make cookies to take with you to retreat. He doesn't understand that sugar cookies take like a lot of time, but he's right. I can pull it off. So I'm gonna make sugar cookies, featherweight sugar cookies to take with me to retreat. And he got me a deck of cards, also from the featherweight shop, that is like all kinds of facts about the featherweights. So each card has a different fact, and it's just, they're so cool. We play hearts with our friends on the weekend, and I kind of get, they don't really tease me, I guess, but I feel like they should, because I cannot shuffle a deck of cards. So I've been practicing shuffling my deck of cards, but these are going with me to retreat. I have no idea what game we're going to play. Someone's going to teach me how to play, but these are going with me. And let's see. Yeah, so that's enough about retreat. I talked about how I have kits set up, and I have like a kit for the Swoon quilt, and one for Oh My Stars, and I think 2 for Moda Love. And then I'm going to take my 2.5-inch strips bucket with me and some yardage and do some potato chip blocks. So those should be super fun. If I get all that done, it's going to be a miracle, but I'm at least going to have choices. So, all right. So last thing I want to talk about before our drawing is that these are not new, okay? But I just bought them because I've been having problems with my finger, and it's my middle right finger. I'm right-handed. So when I'm stitching, it's not a callus. It's like I'm poking a hole in my finger, and that's kind of painful. So I cannot wear a thimble for anything. I've tried, and then I just start using a different finger, but then I start getting a cramp in my other fingers that I'm typically using because I'm holding them weird, and the struggle is real is what I'm saying. All right, so I ordered some of these thimble pads, and they just arrived yesterday. I used that one last night, and you're supposed to be able to reuse them multiple times. Like I said, these are not new. They're new to me. I would say that I really liked it, but it's really sticky. And so I was having problems with the glue on my finger. Now my hands are really dry. That might be part of the problem, but it was just like I couldn't get all the glue off my finger for anything. And in fact, this morning I woke up and I had like gooey residue on my finger, and it did kind of just roll off this morning, but it was gross. And I swear I washed my hands before I went to bed last night and everything, but it was, anyway. if you haven't tried these, I would say check them out. They're not that expensive, and it definitely helped with my finger last night. And I'm looking forward to using it again tonight or tomorrow night when I'm stitching, just to see if with multiple uses, if the stickiness is less of a issue, I guess is what I would say. So, all right. So hang on. Last video, I told you guys if I reached 600 subscribers on my YouTube channel that I would give away a project bag. Excuse me. And so I did. Woohoo! I'm at like 632 subscribers as of right before this video went live. Or I started it. So I drew a winner. I used the YouTube random comment picker. It's a website. You just go out there and you tell it the video and you tell it like your criteria or whatever. And then it chose a winner. And so the winner is Renee Riley. Hi, Renee. And she commented that she found out about the Jeanette Douglas mini bouquet sampler because of me, which I love, 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 that I was able to pass on such an amazing project to a fellow stitcher. That information was just so important to me last year because I love that stitch so much. So I'm so glad that Renee was able to find it and stitch along too. So Renee, here, you said you wanted a project bag too. So I will get this in the mail to you. Please email me. My email is Laura, L-O-R-A, Brinkman, B-R-I-N-K-M-A-N @gmail.com. You should be able also to get my email in the description box below. There should be a way to contact me there. If not, leave a comment on this video and we'll be in touch. If you comment and tell me, get me your address and everything, don't put your address in the comments below, okay? Email me your address and information and we'll get from there. If I get that by like Thursday morning, I'll try to get this mailed out Friday before I leave. If I don't get it by then it's going to be Tuesday at the earliest that I'll be able to mail it out to you. So give me your information. Congratulations, Renee. Thank you so much, everyone, for subscribing and saving, commenting and saving? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for commenting, subscribing, liking my videos, following, spreading the word about my little Flosstube channel, all that kind of good stuff. Love you all. I love reading your comments. Thank you so, so much for going on this crazy journey with me. And I hope you continue to watch and enjoy them. I will be doing another giveaway when I reach 700 subscribers. So if you have stitchy friends, get them to subscribe. And then we'll do another drawing real soon. All right. So that's all I have for this time. And I will see you next time. Until then, have some fun stitching. And I hope you find something that inspires you. Have a great rest of your week.